Hey, I'm out here in these streets. I'm trying something new, so y'all bear with me. I mean, it ain't like live; it's going new. But somebody shared with me on my Facebook Ask I page that this particular power station is on sale for $150 at the moment. I don't know how long it's going to stay on sale. Y'all might obliterate the inventory. I'm just saying, but I wanted to talk about it real quick because I was debating on buying it just to test it out. But I felt like I could talk about it without buying it. Hey, if y'all want to, contribute some YouTube cash to your boy that get one, I won't be opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. But anyway, this is I'm going to call it the Litake portable power station, 281 watt hours, 300 watt inverter for $150. That's pretty cool, man. I'm kind of like, I'm intrigued. And the first thing that caught me with this particular device is how good looking it is. It is a nice looking power station. I was like, because sometimes people send me power stations and they're not necessarily my particular flavor. And I always expect them to kind of look cheap, but this one does not look cheap. I guess I could share the screen. I have it pulled up. Let me go ahead and pull it up. There is a link down below. That link is a part of the Amazon Associate program. So if you buy one, I get a couple coins. I'm not saying you should buy one because I haven't put hands on it and I haven't tested it. Even when I put hands on something, you have to kind of test it a little bit to make sure that it's worth its weight, right? But I wanted to talk about a few things about it that I kind of looked at. The first thing is I don't see any. Okay, here's the DC in. I'm gonna assume that that's 5521 because this thing seems to charge at about 60 watts. It's a 281 watt hour device that charges in 4 to 5 hours from solar. So all you have to do, 281 watt hours divided by 4 or 5, and you get your solar charge rate, which is typically, I did 5, so it's about 56 watts. I'm not personally crazy about that. Another thing I'm not crazy about with this Litake portable power station is the fact that it does not have a regulated 12 volt thing. I was almost compelled to spend $150 on it just to get it to try it out and then maybe give it away or keep it or sell it. That's another thing I'm kind of thinking about. Like if I actually pay money for a power station to test it out, then I could sell it at a kind of reduced price. So it's an interesting dip. So another thing that caught my eye is it has a bi-directional 100 watt PD port, which is really cool too. That makes it a decent power dump. It's only 300 watt hours. Technically, it's 281, but we're going to round up just for ease of use. There's a 300 watt inverter. And look at this thing, man. It's pretty freaking dope. It's pretty dope. Another thing that I noticed about this was, what was it? I'm just scrolling down here. People have made reviews on it. You got to take Amazon reviews with a grain of salt. But people have posted videos. I haven't watched those videos. They don't necessarily hold any weight to me. But that just means that it's been in at least a few people's hands. So I thought that was pretty cool. You think about that in conjunction.
Why don't you call them and see if they'd be willing to send you one?
All right, you make sure you're decent before you come over here. Decent. Come on now. What can my camera see? Get out of the frame. Get your road together, fam. Why don't I call them?
Yeah, why don't you contact the company and be like, hey, I'm interested in...
Typically, they don't have contact information on these particular posts. It's not easy to really find a company. Litake, if you happen to check this out, feel free to send me one.
Whatever.
I'm just saying.
Before they see this.
Possibly, but then they could send me another one. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, honestly. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I'm not sure. But anyway, so we talked about the faster bidirectional charging. It's a decent power dump. If you already have a particular power station that's already using a 100 watt panel, ideally, you don't want to go from, say, like an Energizer and then power dump it to this one. Because the Energizer only charges at 60 watts. But let's say you have a what? Say you have an EB70 or an EB55 that can take in 166 watts of solar, then it's very easy and compelling to jump in the gate. And when that thing starts to get full, you could dump power into this particular power station for that extra 300 watt hours for the day. The reason why I mentioned the EB55 and the EB70 is because as much as I like bidirectional ports, they're starting to get on my nerves. I've talked about this a little bit, but the devices, they can't negotiate it reliably. Sometimes I can never get bidirectional between two power stations to go the way that I want the power. I've tried switching the cables around. I've tried unplugging, replugging, powering off, turning ports on, all types of stuff, but it just does not work out. Welcome to you guys who are joining a little later. I see some comments coming in. That's what's up. Doing a little daytime lunch break live here because it's a work day. Lunch break live. Hey, my wife gave me the cosign. It's a good look. Y'all see how energetic I am during the day? It's just because I'm live. I'm not like this during the day. So I was making the point. It does say here on the screen it has a built-in upgraded MPPT charge controller. Again, I want to put out the caveat that 1, I don't have it. 2, I'm not suggesting that you buy it. And 3, it's on sale as of right now. So you do what you will with that. And this is what I was talking about. The 100 watt solar charge, 100% solar charging in 4 to 5 hours. That typically comes out to be about 60 watts. If you take the 281 watt hours divided by 5, I did 5 because they say 4 to 5, which means it could take a little longer. When I did that, it came out to be about 56 watts. That makes sense, especially if the port on here is a 5521, because typically power stations that have 5521, they charge at about 60 watts. The Rock Pals is the one anomaly, which goes up to 72. And I believe it does that because it doesn't have pass-through charging. So I feel like that's my theory. People who don't put pass-through charging on the device, which this device does have, it does have charging and discharging at the same time, which is what we call pass-through charging. It also, what else does it have that's kind of like a stickler? Dang it. It has two-way charging. You can charge it from the barrel connector and you could charge it from 100 watts of PD input. I was getting to the point where I was talking about the bi-directional stuff. The EB55 and the EB70 and also the EcoFlow are great devices because their 100 watt PD port is not bi-directional, which is good because when you plug a power station that is bi-directional into that PD port, it just charges. Whereas like if I took something like the Oops or the Litake or the Big Blue, the Bull Bat, the Mylan, all of those that have those fancy bi-directional ports, when I plug them into a power station to power dump from another power station that also has bi-directional charging, they don't know what to do with each other and it gets on my nerves. I end up having to grab something like this. Let me see if I can focus on me again instead of myself from the stream. Let's remove this. I end up grabbing something like this, and I hate the fact that I have to do this. So I'm starting to value power stations. I'll tell you what will be ideal. A power station that y'all are being too loud. I didn't know. I saw you walk through the hallway. I didn't know if you was upstairs or what.
I mean, I was on my way upstairs. I got distracted, so I wouldn't have been, but
tragic. So I usually grab one of these. I don't like doing this, but what I was about to say is my ideal feature set is for a power station to have one bi-directional charging port and one non-bi-directional, which the Energizer does. And I love that Energizer for that. It has the 100 watt bi-directional. I have that upstairs charging off of a 100 watt panel that's laying flat, right? So it gets about 50 watts on a super sunny day. Sometimes it maxes out. Sometimes it gets about 40. But then as that begins to fill up, I can take that 60 watt non-bi-directional port and plug that right into the Go Labs. And then it starts putting power into the Go Labs, giving it 60. I really like that. Let me see what y'all snapping and trapping about. What's up, Paycheck? Doyle, Grew It, Eat It, Grayson Handy, CJ, Loyola, Randy G. Good to see you guys. 2%. Bunch of people hanging out during the daytime. What y'all doing on this live during the daytime? Faith, family, and fun. All right. It's 1:49. Doyle, as of right now, came to win.
It's about to turn into a whole hour. No,
it's not. I can't afford to hang out for the whole hour. Came to win is the one who shared the Renogy deal with us earlier that I shared with you guys. Renogy also has panels on sale. I don't know if they're still on sale, but they were 2 for $150, which outside of what happened during Black Friday is the cheapest I've seen Renogy panels at $75 a pop. I have a community posting on that. I should have put the link in this live. I'll put it as soon as this is over. But the guy who shared with me, I'm assuming it's a guy on Facebook, I was asking him what his YouTube name was, but it was Jimbo Limbo on Facebook. So let me see if y'all have any questions. Don't nobody got no questions? Indiana Jackson, good to see you. Mad Kyle, call. Good to see you too. Bet. I was wondering, hey, what's up, Bean? I was wondering the same thing. What are you doing here during the day? Lunch break live. Hey, it came to me. The wifey co-signed it, so that's what it's gonna be. I just felt like, man, it'd be nice to go live real quick because I was sitting here debating. I actually talked to my wife about it. I was like, babe, this is gonna be weird, but I kind of want to check out this power station. Do it for the culture. $1.50 is not a lot of coin, but it's coin that I don't be wanting to spend. So I was kind of thinking about, like, if I bought it and I didn't like it, maybe I could sell it to somebody in a group for like 100. That way you save $50. It kind of preserves the sale price. I recoup some of my money and then y'all profit. You know what I mean? So, and I think I would still pay for shipping. I don't know, kind of working it out. Greensboro Farmer, seems like the PD protocol is not yet mature enough to do proper negotiation between devices. That is a correct statement. It's weird. And I don't know if it's the protocol or if it's their implementation of the protocol. Maybe those PD ports on there are the cheaper ones than maybe nicer PD ports. I'm not sure, but that's a very good point. Mike Briney, is it Briney or Briny? Like brining something. I would say briny. Good to see you, Mike. Always good to see you around the interwebs. Finally able to catch a live. I actually kind of dig the color of that unit. Wish it was LiPo. LiPo would have been great. If it was LiPo 4 for $1.50, I would have bought it without reservation. But it has like a kind of an army feel to it. And I don't know nothing about no army, but it feels very olive drab. It's a cool looking device though, man. I'm still kind of curious. That's the techie in me. I love tech. I love power stations. So it has some good features on this display. It shows input and output. It has a percentage and also a battery. It shows temperature warnings. It has light little icons that tell you if it's 50 or 60 hertz when in the US, so you want 60 hertz. I wonder what 50 hertz does to a device, but you don't want to try that out. I ain't going to try it out either. It shows that the DC and AC on it actually reminds me a lot of the Alcatel P501 that I haven't done the video on yet. That's what the screen reminds me of. Very compelling device. Very compelling. 2 quick charges, 2 normal, like slow charges, 1 normal outlet, and then 1 with the fake grounding plug. Interesting, man. And like I said, there's some videos down here where people have taken a look at it, and I like to see that. What you don't want to see is a device that has nothing going on with it. Pure sine wave, charge and recharge, or pass-through charging. That's what we call that. Man, it's a nifty little device for $1.50. Some Q&A here. That 12 volt not being regulated it sucks. That sucks. But it depends on what you buy it for. What's going on, R? Hey, by the way, what do you think about the EcoFlow 1300? I think that's the OG one. That's like the original dip. I don't have. Oh, okay. Hold on. Correct. Briny. Gotcha. Yeah, I dig the Desert Army color. That's what's up. I don't particularly favor the 1300 because I believe that's the first version of it. And the only reason why I don't favor it is because what happened was that charge, you can't change it. The input charge from the wall, it pulls like 1800 watts, period. Whereas like the newer ones have slow charge on them. So you can turn it down to whatever you want to set it to. So if you needed to just pull 500 watts because your dishwasher is running or your fridge is running, or you don't want to overload that circuit in the house, you could do that. Or if you wanted to just charge slower for the health of the batteries, my take on it, I have a Samsung S7 around here, and what they said is in there, and I agree with it, but I just want to kind of give a good example of it. They say fast charging reduces the efficacy of the battery. I don't think it's bad for it, but I think it's not ideal to be fast charging it all the time. It has an impact on the battery. I would say marginal, but it has an impact. It's kind of like how I like to say is maybe driving your car at high speeds all the time. It's like, yeah, the car is designed to go fast, but it's not good for the health of the car to go fast all the time. That's my take. So because it has that, and there's also some questions about whether it is going to drop down to 80% after its 500 cycles or 60%. The people in the Delta group, like official moderators, has said that the instruction pamphlet is a misprint. It's not going to go down to 60%. It's actually going to drop down to 80%. So that's another thing that always rings in my head. But for those two reasons, I'm kind of like, I don't know. But it's fine. It's a dope device. I'm just nitpicking. That's kind of what I do at this point. But, it's cool. It's decent price. There's some newer ones out there that you may want to consider, though. Alrighty. 100 watt USB-C sharp. I know, right? That's it for me, guys. I wanted to make like a nice tight video. Hopefully this video can serve to be helpful to somebody else. So if nobody has any questions that are relevant, because we're still going to do the live later today. So you guys have questions about just general stuff, come back 6:15 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what the topics are going to be yet. I have to figure that out, but we are going to go live a little later. Let me see if I missed anything on this device. I still don't know if I'm going to buy one. I don't know, man. It's like I don't want it. The only reason why I would buy it is so that I can make a video for the solar community. That's the only reason why I would buy it. And it's cool. It kind of satisfies a little like techno whatever. But other than that, I don't need nor want any more 300 watt hour capable devices. And this one is not regulated. My Rock Pals is not regulated. The only thing it would improve upon with that Rock Pals is the 100 watt bidirectional USB-C port. It's like I still got the Mylan, so I'm good. I'll give you guys an update on the Mylan during the later live. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I like this quick joint. Get you guys in the loop. The link for the device is down in the bottom. If you use it, I get a few coins to buy the device. I'll also put the link to the Renogy panels down there as well. Y'all be beautiful, man. Have a good day.